Hey everyone, welcome back here to my channel where I play Planet Zoo. And welcome. Yeah, sorry, I've been on a week's break and this is the first recording I'm doing after my break, so I'm a little jitty about it. Yeah, welcome. I built this habitat for the platypus, and if you want to know how I built this habitat or simply just want to know more about the platypus, then please keep watching. Okay, everyone, I will just start by mentioning, as you know, last week I took the week off, and this is actually my first recording after my week off. I took the week off because, as some of you guys know, I had talked about this earlier, but I have quite a couple of mental issues, and sometimes it's rougher than others, and I just needed to take care of my mental health, so therefore I took the week off. I'm still not all quite there yet. I'm getting there, and now I just need to get back into the rhythm, but it's gonna take a little while. So if you hear my voice changing through the recording or anything like that, it's just because I need to take it in steps. But I am at the point now where I just need to get starting on something, because otherwise I will just get stuck in a dark hole, and I really don't want that. Not that this are supposed to be a really sad video. I don't hope so at all. It's just, I know some of you guys knows it, and I just want to be honest about it. So yeah, that's basically where we are now. But today we are of course building for the platypus, which is the weirdest goddamn animal in the world. And I'm pretty sure I have mentioned this before, but I did for the longest time believe that it was a fable animal, kind of in the realm of dragons or unicorns, because it's just first of all, everything I knew about it were this is when I was a kid. I will clarify that. I was a kid. I didn't know better. And we didn't learn a lot about animals in school, to be honest. The only animal-ish subject we have was nature. I think it's called nature and physics, and it was kind of a mismatch of chemistry, physics, biology, and geography. So it was all that mixed in together, and we didn't have that a lot, so we didn't have time to actually learn a lot about the specific subject. In Denmark, you don't have it as like subjects on their own before you get to the gymnasium, or in whatever you do after normal school. However, I always loved animals, and I always loved to learn about them, and I don't think I was that old when I actually have read all of the books on the school library about animals. And this says a lot, because I couldn't read as a child, so it was very much like I had dyslexia, but my teachers didn't believe so I really didn't get any help with it at all back in school, and therefore, of course, that was really hard to read, but I would get through it. I would do whatever it took. I would ask everyone around me if there were words I couldn't read. I would also, like, most computers, you can actually get to tell you words. So it took me a long time, even though most of these were made so kids could read them. It took a while for me to read them, but I just wanted to learn about animals. And one of these books actually were about a platypus, but it was more made like a cartoon, like with these small pictures, drawn pictures, and then just a little bit of text over it. So I just thought that it was like accidentally thrown in with the real books. What's it called? Learning books, and that it wasn't real. It was like fantasy or something like that. So I think I was in 7th grade or something like that before someone told me that it was a real animal, because I like no one ever talked about it, and also because in Danish it's called big animal, which doesn't sound like a real animal either. I'm not sure platypus does either, but it's just everything about this animal is just weird and funky. And remember, I'm from '93, so Finnish and verb really wasn't a thing back then. Big animals. Platypus is just, we didn't talk about them. I never heard anyone else mention them, so I know. Which I wish I did, but at least now I know better, and maybe I can help someone else learn it too, because it's a really fascinating animal. Wow, I think that's the longest intro I ever made on my channel. But before we get too much into the animal, I just like to mention the habitat. And this idea of the habitat actually for once came before the animal. Normally I really want to talk about the animal, and from there I figure out what I want to build for it. This time I actually really wanted to build the habitat. Don't misunderstand me, I still love the platypus, but it really isn't that long since I built for him last. But I just wanted this, I wanted it in this kind of outback area. So I needed an animal out here, and I had this idea with, I wanted the water to go all the way around, but I of course couldn't do that because that's how Planet Zoo works. But I just really enjoyed building this way, and I noticed recently, I don't know if you guys noticed, because maybe you did, but for me, I only noticed this recently, but I've been doing this for a while, where my inspiration for my habitat comes from my previous habitat. Not necessarily the last one I built, but normally it has something to do with something I have built earlier. Because I have done it here very much in a area, it's really easy to notice that I use the same viewpoint shade area for both the kangaroo, wallaby, and emu habitat, and again for the doll habitat. Then I got used the same elements, the same wood, and the same round shape, same elements to build the food corner here with the koalas around it. And now I use again the same idea of round building with the same wood here for a platypus habitat. And then I actually do it again on the next build I'm building, because I already did that because I had a little extra time this week. And that's really cool, that habitat too. So here you can see how I keep using the same idea, the same things to do different things. And I really enjoy the way I can do it here. Again, looking back at my older habitats, I actually have been doing this for a while, but I never noticed it before, so yeah, maybe you have. But I know it is one of the questions I get asked the most, and other people on YouTube and other places where they share their Planet Zoo speed build. The question you get the most, no matter who you are, how big you are, is where your inspiration comes from. And apparently a lot of my inspiration comes from my own build. And it's not like I want to go back and redo an old build necessarily. I have a few builds where I feel like, well, if I had this thing that we did get later, then I would have done it this way and this way. But most speed builds, I just like to reuse elements, and it's also really realistic for a zoo, because a place like this, you would it would be less expensive to buy a real big amount of one kind of wood instead of buying a lot kinds of wood, but just in small amounts. It's kind of the same deal when you go to the supermarket and you buy chicken fillet or something like that. You can get those big boxes with, I'm not sure, 2,000 grams or something like that. Or you can get the one with only one chicken fillet, and per gram it will be much more expensive to buy the small one, because it's just something storage does apparently. Oh, I didn't notice before now. I just listened back in some of the audio I just recorded for now. My voice is really rough today. I didn't notice it myself, but I just haven't been talking much the last couple of days, so it just need to be talked warm, and at some points I guess it will be better, hopefully. And before we go over to the animal facts for today, I just want to mention I'm so glad. Though I took the week off, I can see you guys still watch my videos, even my really old videos. You're still here. I still get new subscribers, which I really didn't count on. So just thank you for the support and thank you for being here. It means a lot. And if you are one of those who have watched my videos for a while and are not subscribed, I guess it's not on purpose. We have both a like and a subscribe button down below, and feel free to use it. No pressure from me though. I just sometimes people just forget, and I know it because I'm one of those people who always forget. Both to say it in my videos, but also to do it on others. So we're gonna try to say it today. So please like, subscribe, and yeah, let's see if the channel can grow just a little bit more. Again, I'm way over what I expected to begin with. I said 10 subscribers within the first year. That would be amazing. If just 10 people out there wanted to watch my videos, it would be so worth it for me personally. But the 10 subscribers is way past, and we haven't reached a year yet. I haven't even had the game for a year, to be honest. But we are getting close. I think I got it in February, so we are getting close. And I started this channel a few months later. So I would think it would be amazing if the channel could grow even more. But I'm just so thankful for everyone who is already here. So thank you so much, guys. But though I already said a little bit about how weird I find this animal, I actually want to know if there are any animals out there like it. Since it, again, is really weird, I don't expect to find any animals really close related to it. But I would like to know, like, does it have a cousin or something like that? And if we go in and look at the different classifications, here we have the kingdom, which is, of course, Animalia, the phylum, which is Chordata. We have the subphylum, which is vertebrates. And we have the class, which is Mammalia. Again, most animals appear here. Then we go to the order, and we actually see an order that I don't think I have seen on any other animals I talked about. It's called the Monotremata order, and it is 7 species. Normally, some animals like have 20 subspecies. We are not even down in species here. We are still up in order. And here we of course have the platypus. Then we have the short-beaked echidna, I think it's called, and the eastern long-beaked echidna. And these are basically, it looks like moles. With a long nose, like really long nose, and then like the same spikes as a porcupine, not really long ones, just the shorter ones on the back. So it looks a little funky animal I never heard of before. And the rest of these 7 animals in this order is all extinct at this point. Then from order we go down to family, which is the yeah, I gotta try my best here. Ornithorhynchidae. And all of the animals in this family, of course, have the genus Ornithorhynchus. That was interesting. Most genus ends on nay instead of they, which the family ends on. Here it ends on chus. like a US instead of the NAE. I'm not sure why, but I find it a little interesting. However, both with this genus and this family, the platypus is totally alone, which means that they don't really have any family like close. They have up in the order like third generation cousin, something out there. Like maybe you share a great grandma or something like that. But that's it. Besides that, they are completely alone and an animal in their own right. This is both good and bad because I would love more of these magical, fantastic animals out there. But it also means that they are quite unique, of course. I could use the next hour on describing them, but most famous features is, of course, that they have fur. They have this kind of duck beak, but with these two big nose holes on top. The beak also have a little weird shape. Then they have these whipped feet, and they have these really long claws. The tail is very flat, but almost as big as the main part of the body. And besides that, I will really recommend, if you haven't seen them, Google pictures of them because they are really interesting to look at. However, it's not only the look of the platypus that is weird. It also is a mammal, but it lays egg and it swits milk. Although not completely swits milk, but I think I'm gonna come into that later. They are found on the eastern and southeastern coast of mainland Australia. This includes New South Wales, Queensland, South Australia, Tasmania, and Victoria. Sorry, it's not only mainland. It's just, sorry, I'm confused. It is, these coastal regions in this end of Australia, basically. They stay in the lakes, freshwater, riparian rivers, and wetlands within both the temperate and tropical biome. But even though they can survive in the temperate biome, I did still give them a good heater here. Again, they have kind of a small open area to live in here. They don't have a closed house they can go into, so it is important that they don't get too cold throughout the winter. Platypuses are subaquatic animals, meaning that they spend some of their life in water and some of them out of the water. They spend most of their activity in the water because they spend between 10 and 12 hours a day looking for food and eating. The rest of the day they will retreat to their burrow where they are out of the hot sun, of course. They will sleep, they will be in peace, and they will be safe most of all. They are nocturnal and crepuscular animals, that meaning that they, again, are most active at night to stay out of the hot sun mainly. You can especially see this because a lot of them will become more active and out through the day if it is really overcast, so the sun is blocked out. All platypuses are solitary creatures, but especially the males. However, they can still have territories that overlap. This is something that especially happens places where they really thrive and there's food enough for everyone. However, they still don't like to be in the water and share the water together. So therefore, if they live in the same area, they will wait to feed until the other one gets out of the water so you can have the pool for yourself. Again, a thing that can force some platypuses to be more out through the day. Because of the way the platypus is built, it is of course very, very vulnerable. But they still have one defense useful. And this is a kind of a spike they have on their back ankles. Both males and females have these. However, only the males have poison in it. This is actually a poison that they develop and are a part of their own immune system, but they are very venomous to other animals and enough to kill a small dog or other animals around the same size. However, not enough to actually be dangerous for humans, however, very uncomfortable. Platypuses are polyamorous and actually understand this concept, meaning both males and females do mate with multiple partners. The females, however, take the childcare all on their own, and a little more than that. They do burrow before the baby comes and actually block out the entire burrow, meaning that there's nothing getting in and out from this burrow for a month. Not even the mom. In here, she will lay 1 or 2 eggs, which will hatch already after 10 days. This is also why the babies are as small as a single bean and will need a lot to be able to take care of themselves. Before we get there, it will take 4 to 5 months before they would stop nursing. Here they will need milk, however the mother doesn't have like functional nipples. Human beings, we have these beautiful small nipples that can kind of open and close. I know some moms are luckier than other with the closing part, but they can open and close and let milk in and out and control it this way. Platypuses doesn't have that, so instead they will actually get the milk to get out through the pores instead. However, it's not like they are sweating it on the entire body. It is made so the babies can suckle it up. So therefore it is placed strategically, kind of like breasts are for babies. And like this, the mom and babes will stay in the burrow for some while. They will keep nursing for 4 to 5 months, and after there they will start eating more substance, and therefore both first mom and then cats will have to leave the burrow, as still living in the burrow, but leave to go out and hunt and so on. They will at the age of 6 months have gained about 80% of their entire body weight as adult. They will become independent really recent hereafter, some already after the 5 months where they stop nursing. So it is basically mama takes care of you, mama takes care of you, mama takes care of you, now you're on your own. It is really that black and white with platypuses. Platypus is not the animal I hear the most about, I already stated that, but also like when we hear about animals, poor animals in Australia that doesn't do that well, we normally hear about the koalas, sometimes wallabies or kangaroos, but never the platypus. It doesn't mean though that it doesn't have issues, they just aren't that affected by forest fires, for instance, which is a huge issue over there. Instead, they have a few predators, which include snakes, iguanas, water rats, and foxes, but their main issue is more related to us, and that's maybe why we don't talk about it, because we don't like to actually admit when things are our fault. They lose a big part of their habitat every year still. The land are being cleared out for development or a road building or anything basically at this point. And besides that, they also have issues with water pollution. Again, if you spend 10 to 12 hours a day in water, it is pretty important that the water is clean, safe, and healthy for you to be in. Luckily, the numbers is still okay out there. I'm guessing here because I actually don't have the exact number of platypuses in the wild, but they are near threatened according to the IUCN Red list. And I will just mention that near threatened, it sounds bad, but we have like a lot of classification here. 2 of them are simply like not evaluated, or there's a deficiency, that's animals where we have no idea about where to put them. Then we have least concern, which is where we really want the animals to be: near threatened, vulnerable, endangered, critical endangered, extinct in the wild, and extinct. So we have a few boxes before we actually need to be really afraid for the platypuses. However, it would be great if we could just help them now and push them over the barrier to at least concern animal. Again, least concern don't mean that we don't have to be concerned about them. It just means that they aren't in any immediate danger. And another video where I'm talking way too much, so enjoy the rest of the cinematics and I will come back afterwards. Okay guys, that's pretty much all I got for you today. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm so proud of this habitat. Yeah, I really like when I can use old things to build new things, but still make them completely different. And I think I really managed to do that here, and I'm really happy about it. So yeah, as always guys, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you know the next time I upload a video. Really hope to see you again either in the comments below or in the next video. Bye guys!